That smell hits you right when your dog leans in close to your face to show you some love. And without even meaning to, you pull your head back a little. That flinch isn't the real problem. The real problem is that nasty smell is quietly trying to tell you something, and most owners never even hear it. A lot of people lie in bed at 11 at night, phone in hand, and Google, "Why does my dog's breath suddenly smell so bad?" Vets say most dogs start developing some level of gum disease by the age of 3, and the bacteria in their mouth release sulfur gas that smells just like rotten eggs. Hearing that, you're thinking, okay, one dental cleaning and this whole mess is over. But that's exactly where the scary part is hiding. Because out of the 5 reasons behind this smell, one of them has nothing to do with the mouth at all. And the very last one can drag you into a few $1,000s in vet bills, and even your dog's life. Think of it like a giant iceberg floating out in the ocean. The smell you're catching is just the tiny tip poking above the water. The real ice, that huge, scary part, is sitting way down below, completely out of sight. And today, we're going to pull that bottom part up, piece by piece. If you're the kind of owner who catches even the tiniest change in your dog, then this video is made just for you. Because the people who brush this smell off as just normal dog breath usually figure it out way too late. And you, I know, you're not in that group. Now, most people's first thought is, bad smell means dirty teeth, and that's it. And honestly, that's not a bad guess. It sounds pretty reasonable. But veterinary dentists keep running into something strange. Plenty of dogs have bright white teeth and perfectly healthy gums, and still their mouth smells awful. That's when you realize the problem isn't inside the mouth, it's hiding much deeper in the body. So, don't think this is only about the teeth. No, wait. The real game goes way beyond the teeth. Reason number 1, and the most familiar one, is dental disease. Bits of food build up in the mouth and first turn into soft, sticky plaque. That plaque slowly hardens and settles at the base of the teeth like stony tartar. Then the gums turn red, swell up, bleed when you poke them, and that's called gingivitis. The bacteria that grow through this whole process release a gas called hydrogen sulfide. Simply put, your sweet dog's mouth is basically a little rotten egg factory at that point. And you're wondering about the pain? Dogs are masters at hiding pain, so they grit through it, and you never catch even a hint of it. Even a stick or a piece of bone stuck between the teeth can rot and cause this smell. So a dental cleaning fixes everything, right? For most dogs, that's true, but the part under the ice is still completely ahead of us. Reason number 2 is what they're actually putting in their mouths. Dogs are super opportunistic. Whatever's in front of them, they lick it clean. Picture this. Sunday afternoon, you're on the couch watching NFL on TV with a Costco rotisserie chicken in your hands. One piece drops to the floor, and your dog makes it disappear in a second. But the real trouble starts when they grab dirt from outside. Rotten stuff. Even their own or another animal's poop. This gross little habit even has a name, coprophagia. The smell they get after eating that stuff, no toothpaste on earth is going to fix it. And cheap carb-heavy dry food also leaves a sticky layer in the mouth and makes the smell worse. You might be thinking, so I'll just switch the food, problem solved. Partly right, but the next reason isn't tied to food. It's tied to how they breathe. Reason number 3 is infection in the airways and inside the skin folds. Think back to the last time you had a heavy cold, that runny nose and that sticky feeling in the back of your throat. Dogs get the exact same thing. The discharge from a nose infection drips down the throat into the mouth and spreads the smell. Now picture the face of a pug or a French bulldog. with all those cute skin folds around it. Moisture builds up inside those folds, bacteria move in, and it gives off a damp, sour smell. When the dog licks those folds with its tongue, the smell goes straight into its mouth. So just keep the folds dry and clean and the trouble's over. You're close, but the real iceberg is still way down under the water. At this point, you might feel like, okay, I've learned 3 causes, I'm done here. And honestly, for most dogs, these 3 are the whole story. Even if you stopped here, you'd be ahead of a lot of other owners. But hold on a second. The next 2 reasons are exactly the ones nobody bothers to check, and yet they're the most dangerous. And this is where that dark part under the ice really begins. Reason number 4 is digestive trouble and acid reflux. The mouth is spotless, but the smell is still there, because it's not actually coming from the mouth. It's rising up from the stomach all the way from the bottom to the top. Some dogs make too much acid in their stomach, and that sour sharpness mixes into their breath and comes out. Others can't digest their food properly, and the undigested food rots in the gut and spreads a smell. Funny thing is, the right digestive enzymes, like amylase or protease, can cut this smell down a lot. But what if the smell is weirdly sweet, like ripe fruit, or sharp like ammonia or pee? Then stop right here, because reason number 5 is no ordinary problem anymore. Reason number 5 is disease in the internal organs, especially the kidneys, the liver, and diabetes. This is the deepest part of the iceberg, the one that can sink the whole ship if it wants to. When the kidneys don't work right, they can't filter out the body's toxic waste, and it builds up in the blood. Part of that built-up waste comes out through the breath and creates a sharp, ammonia-like smell in the mouth. And with diabetes, the breath takes on that oddly sweet, almost fruity smell. These smells aren't just smells. They're danger sirens going off from deep inside the body. And if you also notice your dog suddenly drinking way more water, peeing over and over, dropping weight right in front of you, then forget the toothpaste. You need to run straight to the vet, not tomorrow, today. Because waiting here doesn't just mean putting up with a bad smell. Waiting means gambling with a life. Now let me hit you with a bitter truth. You know those shelves at the pet store packed with fresh breath chew treats and mint-flavored sprays? Most of them don't fix the real problem, they just cover the smell up for a little while. Covering up a smell and fixing a problem, those two are not the same thing at all. You can spray perfume over a sweaty, dirty shirt, but deep down, that shirt is still dirty. So let's get to what actually works. Let me make one thing clear. The home remedies and doses below are just for general info. Your vet is the one who sets the right dose based on your dog's weight and condition. The biggest weapon might make you laugh, brushing the teeth regularly. Get an enzyme toothpaste made specifically for dogs, and never human toothpaste. And never ever put human mouthwash or chewing gum in their mouth, because those contain something called xylitol, which is straight up poison for dogs. Mix a little bone broth into their water bowl, they'll drink more, and the mouth gets rinsed clean from the inside. Whether it's Trader Joe's or any store nearby, plain bone broth works fine. Just make sure it has no onion or garlic in it. Chewing on a raw carrot works great too. It scrubs the teeth like a natural brush and lifts off the plaque. You can mix a bit of parsley, some mint, and coconut oil, and gently rub it on the gums with your finger. Parsley and mint kill bacteria, and coconut oil keeps the mouth fresh and soft. That little mineral called zinc goes right at that stinky sulfur gas and traps it. Picture zinc grabbing sulfur by the hand and tying it up, so the bad smell can't even form anymore. Dabbing cooled green tea on the gums also brings the bacteria way down. And one very old thing is making a comeback these days: propolis, a kind of glue made by bees. Studies have shown that Brazilian propolis does a pretty good job cutting down the bacteria that cause mouth odor. If the smell is coming from an upset stomach, a little slippery elm powder can calm the gut down too. An amino acid called taurine also quietly binds with those sulfur compounds and knocks the smell down. And a little vitamin C keeps the gums strong and boosts saliva, so more of the bad bacteria get washed out. If you want, you can mix a spoon of apple cider vinegar with a little honey, but just a tiny bit, and that sour tang will make them scrunch their nose the first time. Here's a small mistake almost everyone makes. They try one remedy, don't see results in 2 days, and give up. But most natural remedies take 2 to 4 weeks to really start working, so the real game is patience. And exactly what the smell is like, that rotten egg sharpness or a metallic sourness, is what really tells you how big the ice below is. And that controversial thing I set aside at the start, colloidal silver. A lot of owners flat out swear it brought their dog smell down. Honestly, I'm not fully sure myself whether it works the same way for every single dog. So before you use it, definitely talk it over with your own vet first. Now take a moment and look back. At the start, you thought the smell was just a tiny, dirty teeth thing. And now you know that smell is really the tip of the iceberg, and the story hidden below is so much bigger. Sometimes it's just built-up tartar. A small tip and a little care melts it away. Other times it's something deep like the kidneys, that huge dark part under the water. Having the eye to catch that difference is what makes you a better owner than the rest. From today on, don't ignore that smell. Instead, pause for a second and listen to it. Because you've now learned to read a language that most owners never learn their whole lives. Now it's your turn. And I'm telling you, this one question splits people into 2 camps and starts real fights. Which side are you on? The ones who say you should get a full dental under anesthesia at the vet at least once a year? Or the ones who say home care and natural methods handle everything and you don't need all those chemicals? And tell me this, what exactly does your dog's breath smell like? Fish, metal, or that familiar rotten egg? Drop it in the comments below. I'll genuinely read every single one. And if you're new here at PetMate Pro, hit subscribe and stick around. I'll see you in the next video.